Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Greg Jones with Engine Builder. Welcome to a brand new episode of Shop Tours. Today we're coming to you from Tampa, Florida, and we're at United Speed World. Shop owner Tommy Mayer and his daughter Megan Mayer run the shop. These guys do a little bit of everything, but primarily focus on LS, Chevy, some Ford platforms for applications like sprint car, airboats, hot rods, some of those different types of things. They got a pretty neat shop in there, so let's go check it out. Come on.
No shortcuts, no substitutes, no compromises. Great racers and engine builders choose Driven Racing Oil.
All right, guys, so here we are inside United Speed World. I'm joined here by John Allen. John, pleasure to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for having us in.
Thanks for coming.
I understand Tommy and Megan got their hands full here today, and they pawned off a shop tour on you, but I heard you're our guy. So
I don't know about that. I'm the only guy with nothing to do, I guess.
Hey, we're happy to be here, happy to check out what you guys are doing, and appreciate you giving a little bit of time to do it. John, before we walk around here and see the shop, tell the folks a little bit about United Speed World, if they're not super familiar with the shop and what you guys do.
Okay, so United Speed World's been around since 1969.
Okay.
It was started by a guy named Roy Supre. He owned it for a couple years, and a guy named Lee owned it for quite a while after that. A lot of people knew him, and he did a good job expanding it. And then Philip Joyner, he started a machine shop here. Okay. This was not United Speed World. He ended up buying United Speed World and combining the two. And that's when United Speed World became an engine builder. And that was probably, I'd say, I don't know what year, probably 18 years ago, something like that. And we've been here ever since.
Yeah.
And now Tommy and Megan bought it from Phil Joyner, and it's still United Speed World.
Yeah. Very cool.
Some of the same people, a lot of the same stuff.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Keeping it going.
Keeping it going.
Good stuff. All right, so John, again, I gave the viewers kind of a glimpse into some of the engine work you guys will get into, but you want to just elaborate on some of the platforms and applications that you guys will cater to?
We do just about everything gas related. We don't do a lot of diesel motors. We do a lot of airboat engines, and in the airboat world, aircraft motors are big. We don't do aircraft motors, but we do a lot of airboat motors, car-based stuff. LSs are big. We might do twice the LSs now of anything else, and a lot of those are more of your street guys, a lot of your sick week guys, things like that. Small block Chevys. We do a lot of sprint car motors right now. It's the season for that.
Yeah.
So just about anything.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, and then John, we're kind of here, your front parts room area, and where customers would walk in. Anything you want to point out while we're up front here?
Nothing in particular. It's all basically normal speed shop stuff.
Yeah.
Fittings. Right now, the big upgrade on everyone's car is to change to AN fittings and braided line and things like that. So we have a wall full of that and all your basic small block Chevy, LS stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Normal speed shop.
Cool. Good deal. Well, John, before we walk around, one last thing, just to give viewers kind of a hint as to what we're going to see. How many square feet do you guys have about?
I don't even know.
And how many full-time employees?
I think we have 11 full-time employees. How many square feet? A couple thousand? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Very good.
Probably. Probably 2,500 or something like that.
Okay. Yep. Cool. All right, guys. Well, before we let John tour us around, just make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel so you can see other really cool shop tours like we're about to see here at United Speed World. And with that, John, I'm going to turn it over to you and let us, we'll follow along.
Let's go. I'll do the best I can.
Looking forward to seeing what you guys got.
Okay. Let's go.
What if your honing oil provided more precise results in less time on a cleaner surface with less wear on your tools? Introducing the first premium honing oil formulated specifically for engine builders and professional machinists. Honing Oil 10 from Driven Racing Oil.
This is the best honing oil that I've had. The cylinders are cleaner. They look a lot better. Even when we get ready to assemble it, the cylinders are still clean. I really do like it.
For more information or to order Honing Oil 10 right now, visit drivenracingoil.com.
So, everything's kind of self-explanatory. We balance. This is your standard engine balancer, Sunnin.
Nice.
Most everything we have here is a Sunnin machine.
Okay.
We line hone and line bore. This is our hone.
Nice.
And then we have a Rottler bore.
Okay.
Again, all of it's pretty standard machine shop stuff. These machines run quite a bit. You can see we have plenty of blocks to put in them.
Yeah, you do.
Most of these are waiting to be machined. This is probably the bore section.
Good example of some of the diversity you guys got. I mean, you got
Sure.
the V6 there, you got straight 6 over here.
Yeah. This is a Triumph motor.
Okay.
Yeah, this is an interesting one we're
Nice.
getting to.
Nice.
So anything with a hole,
Yeah.
we're good.
Nice.
And decking, again, typical Sunnin decking machine. We do blocks, heads. Anything needs to go on the lathe, which we don't do a whole lot of fabrication work. We typically farm that stuff out, but if a crank needs to be modified a little bit or needs to just be polished, standard lathe,
Yep.
press room, for pressing pistons on,
Okay.
wheel bearings, stuff like that.
Nice.
Cylinder head, area. Obviously all the standard stuff again. We redo connecting rods, cut valves, anything there is to do on a cylinder head. Craig usually handles all of that.
He's the guy.
And
Nice.
he's got, that's his to-do list to his left.
Plenty there, yeah.
Plenty there. This is in the process of assembly. Some fully assembled.
Okay.
Some need to be modified from where they are. But this is we don't need any more machine work room.
Gotcha.
This area over here is usually sprint car motors, some of the higher end stuff. This is what Todd assembles, and this is his alcove.
Okay.
And you'll see more circle track, sprint car, maybe some of the higher end drag racing stuff going on in there.
Okay.
Things like SB2,
Yeah.
sprint car motors, or at some point in their life, some of them may have been NASCAR motors.
Nice.
And engine dyno, we have a classic Superflow engine dyno. We probably dyno 5 or 6 engines a week. And that's it.
And now, does every engine that you guys build go on the dyno, or is it a customer request?
It's both.
Okay.
If we build it top to bottom, we like to dyno it. We like it to leave broke in, no leaks, and tuned.
Yeah.
That way, once it leaves here, we know where the starting point was. And we also have certain customers that just use us for a dyno.
Mm-hmm.
That they'll come in with 3 motors and we'll dyno their motors all day. So we do a little bit of both.
Yeah. Very good.
But we like to dyno what we build.
Yeah. No, definitely smart.
And then you can leave with a dyno sheet. So there's also how much did my motor make, how much do you think it makes. Well, we know.
Yep.
Makes it a little easier.
Very good.
Yep.
All right, and then, John, again, you mentioned, there's a number of different applications and certainly different platforms that come through the shop.
Right.
Do you have any idea in a given year how many engines you guys are churning out?
Last year, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I would think, it's hard to say because some of these motors, these might come in a batch of 3.
Right.
And they might all leave at the same time. And then we might have a week where we can't get parts and we might not have any leave. But I have no idea how many motors we do in a year. Too many to count.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it certainly looks like you guys got a lot in progress here and keeping everyone busy. So
Yep.
that's good stuff.
There's always something to do.
And then again, being a machine shop, I'm curious how much of the work is full builds versus just some one-off machine jobs.
That's a good question too. Right now, I'd say probably 50%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah, we've been lucky to fall into a couple of niches that have given us some build-up. Like I said earlier, airboat stuff. It seems like every week someone calls inquiring about a motor for an airboat.
Mm-hmm.
So, and those are going to be a full build sometime, an install out back, and going to be a dyno.
Mm-hmm.
And probably 50-50 LS versus, small block Chevy.
Okay.
And usually small block Chevy is going to be larger displacement, 427 stuff, or maybe a 383, something like that.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Is there a favorite engine combo that comes to the shop that you get a kick out of, or?
Everybody's got their favorite.
Yeah.
So Todd, his favorite is going to be something mechanically injected with really nice parts in it. Me, I like to see old, interesting engines, but my favorite's probably a 383 stroker, small block. It's simple, it's tried, it's true. It's
classic. Yeah.
It's classic.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's probably my favorite.
Nice.
Yep.
Very cool. All right, John, you mentioned that you guys sometimes do work outside and got another shop area over here. Is that something we can check out, or do you
can.
want to keep us out of there?
No, we can go out there. And, you never know what you'll see. Also, this is kind of where everything starts. So when something comes in, it gets
area.
torn down and cleaned. This is the dirty area. And those guys
The
are
get clean area.
yeah, exactly. So, like I said, we do a lot of airboats. And something like this, this is a customer that bought this car and just wants to put nitrous on it. So he brought it to us to install a nitrous kit.
Nice.
And we kind of pick and choose what we bring into the shop because, if it's something that we can't do to the best that it can be, then we don't want to touch it. We don't tune suspensions or things like that. It's just, but if somebody wants a nitrous kit put on their street car, no problem.
Yeah.
Airboats, on the other hand, we do just about everything there is to do on an airboat. And this is the type of build here where somebody will have us build a full engine, put it on their boat, and we'll wire it, we'll plumb it, we'll set the prop, and there's usually a steady stream of those here. Especially in the last year, it's really gone crazy.
And have you guys been seeing a lot of that? Like guys wanting to, like you said, get rid of the aircraft type engine and move to something like a V8?
Yeah, and I think there's a big rivalry in the airboat world over that, but I think a lot of that just comes from the fact that less shops are building aircraft motors. Parts availability is probably a little bit harder. When you have a LS-based or a small block-based airboat, you can go to any Advanced Auto Parts, O'Reilly's, and get a starter if you need it.
Keep stuff going.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily think it's one being better than the other. I think the shift in that is coming from it's just a little bit easier to deal with, more practical.
Yeah, no, that's cool. It's certainly a cool aspect of what you guys do.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. And Brandon, Megan, the owners, they are airboaters.
Okay.
So when they go out, they kind of are seen.
Yeah. They're helping draw that business.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's great. We love it.
Now, you weren't kidding, I guess. So there's a couple more back here?
Yeah. Actually, the other day we had 6 boats in here.
Wow.
All with various, I want a Pro Charger put on my boat.
So I was just going to say, how different does one airboat get from the next? Like, pretty different, I guess.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because there's so many, everything's kind of custom on them. So you have builders that one builder will build the hull, somebody else does the rigging, and then you'll come to somebody like us to build a motor. So they come with kind of a hodgepodge of of different assemblies and qualities of work, and you just got to kind of make them work and deal with it. So if you get a motor, somebody comes in and they're like, you can see how this cage is built. Somebody says, I want a Pro Charger on a motor like this. Well, you're going to have to start cutting the cage out to fit that.
Right.
So it's kind of like that with every one of them. We've done a lot of fuel injection Holley stuff on LSs recently. So wiring and mounting things and putting them in the dry box or whatever, it's different on every single one.
Yeah. Nice.
Yep.
Well, that's neat.
Keeps it fun.
Here, so explain that. So like, again, just differences in the Airboat. You got a certain setup here, but then I'm looking at this next one over here. It's got a pretty large fan.
Yeah, you can see they're totally different.
Yeah.
The cage is built by somebody. I've never seen a cage like this.
Yeah.
And frankly, I'm no Airboat expert. I don't know anything about this stuff, but you can see somebody else built that rigging and cage.
Right.
Is a completely different person than this.
Right.
And this would be built out of like aluminum, or conduit is popular. And something like this is stainless. It just depends on what they, who they go to and what they want.
This blade is pretty cool. It's like a carbon fiber blade there.
Yeah, that's all the blades that, well, not all the blades. Most of the blades people are using now are Cinchnich blades, which is a company in South Florida. They do a lot of airplane stuff, and they're huge in the airboat world. Oxbox is a company that we deal with quite a bit. They make a really nice gearbox, so that's a gear reduction box.
Okay.
And that also has increased the popularity of car motors, because the RPM range of a car motor, turning that prop can be problematic. You can't overturn the prop. And now that these gearboxes have gotten popular, you can spin the motor up to make power now, and it doesn't overturn the prop.
Yeah.
So that's what you'll see. And there's different brand gearboxes, and there's a lot of good ones out there. This is just, like you can see this one. I don't know who makes this one. Stinger, yeah. So Stinger's over in St. Petersburg.
Okay.
And that's a good gearbox too.
Nice. That's neat.
Yeah.
And about how much horsepower are guys typically asking for? All the horsepower?
Yeah. Everybody out there wants and asks for, it seems like, they all ask for 1,000 horsepower.
Okay.
And there's guys out there who have it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not uncommon to see an airboat with 1,200 horsepower.
Wow.
They drag race them. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. That's neat.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance.
Yeah. I'm sure it's a fun ride, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. That's cool to see.
Yeah. We can walk back through here, I guess. So again, this is where everything gets torn down and cleaned before it comes into the shop. Pardon me, sir. This is Megan. She owns the place.
Hey, Megan.
Hi.
And she runs the machine shop.
Nice.
That I do.
So
I'm sure it's a tough job sometimes.
Sometimes.
The hardest job in the place.
Yeah.
Easily the hardest job in the place.
Awesome.
Yeah, and that's us.
All right. Well, John, we appreciate it, man. This was cool to see.
No problem.
You know, every shop's a little different, and got different things coming through, so it's neat to see what's going on here at United Speed World.
Yep. We follow the currents. When something gets popular, we just like everybody else, seize the moment, I guess. This is an airboat motor.
Okay. And Pro Charge?
Pro Charge, 434, small block Chevy.
Yeah. Very nice.
I think that, you know, this motor dynoed 800 horsepower, which is capable of more. But again, with an airboat, they have to keep the RPMs down, and most people want to run pump gas. So it's, so that's it.
Very good. Well, awesome. Well, John, appreciate the time, man. Thanks
you
for showing us around.
No problem.
Like
Thanks
I said,
for coming by.
Cool to see what you guys got going on. And we appreciate the tour.
Thanks for taking it.
Guys, we appreciate all of you watching at home. Make sure you guys are checking out everything that John and his team are doing here at United Speed World. As you saw, it's a lot of pretty cool stuff. And as always, make sure you're checking out enginebuildermag.com for more awesome engine content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.